let's move on to part two. So, my question is related to food. So, as you know, that food is very important for the body to prevent any hereditary diseases like diabetic mellitus, liver disorders, and hypertension. So, you can revert it. So, what do you like or prefer uh, related to food, and is it essential to have a healthy diet? So what do you think about it?
Diet diet focused people wouldn't be preferring, but then yeah, I do think that healthy food helps a lot, especially when it comes to focusing into stuff, because the one particular thing that I've noticed is that eating a lot of spicy or a lot of sweet food um, would would create a problem for me to focus into stuff. So whenever I go and eat something light and something which is not spicy or sweet, I think in those particular days I tend to have a lot of focus in whatever I do. So I think yeah, healthy foods is important, and I think I should probably start focusing on eating healthy food. But yeah, I think it's pretty much important.
As a youth, it is good that you are trying to uh, inculcate good practices of healthy diet henceforth. So I would like to take this opportunity to say that health is wealth. So always see that you can eat junk food once in a while, like in a week or so, but always try to get healthy food. So then let's move on to our next question, like, how has faith helped you? Is it necessary to pray? Is it helpful for your holistic health? Can you explain about more on this?
Yeah, I think faith is important to me because uh, growing up, I've been in very tough situations. Maybe when it comes to having more focus in my studies, or matter of fact, there are a lot of situations where I think faith did help me. I would just pray, and most of the times I've got, I don't know how, but then I got the strength to overcome such situations. And I think yes, faith is important to me. But then if you really ask me about a good experience, I would say landing my first job. So this in short, if I'd say uh, my placement drive or my placement drive situation was in a way where my first interview went really bad. So it almost seemed like I got kicked out of the interview, despite having a good performance over there. So after that, I was a bit traumatized, and I was really, really scared to go and face another interview. Um, I knew I had it, but then I was really scared to showcase what I am in an interview. So the firm that I'm working right now, I think the interview for that, before getting into the interview, I already had given up. I thought I wouldn't make it, but then at the same time I prayed, and I was just praying to God, and I was requesting. Yeah, I almost cried because of how scared I was. But then I just asked for the strength to showcase what I am in an interview. And I think even if the interview was pretty difficult, I think I got the strength, and I somehow was able to talk well, perform well in an interview, and that that process seemed a bit easy for me. I think it's because of all the blessings. And yeah, that is one of my experiences. And yeah, that's the reason. That's not the only reason, but then I've had many situations from which my faith just gets stronger and stronger.
Yes, Lord God gives us blessings to anyone who prays, and prayer is very important in everybody's life. Um, so it strengthens your faith in God when you have a small miracles, even though you have difficulties in life. Please don't stop praying. So let's move on to our next question. Did you experience any difficulties in your life? Any bad experiences? And how do you face it?
My bad experiences again. I would get back to that placement drive where it seemed like I almost got kicked out of the interview despite having performed well. I think yeah. If I talk about it in detail, this was probably the technical round where we had to develop personal software. I did pretty well, and then again, it was open book test where we could refer to any of the resources and we could develop stuff. So there was this one problem statement where I worked on. Again, this is too technical to be talking about, but then yeah, in simple terms, I had to do something like a dictionary where I just search for certain stuffs. And yeah, during my technical round, the thing is I got selected for having a good software over there. So I thought I almost made it. But then in a technical interview, when he asked me how I faced certain situations, and I mentioned that this was a particular resource that I used, the interview panelist didn't really like it, and the interview panelist seemed a bit disappointed with it, and he specifically mentioned that we don't really prefer people using resources to develop stuff. So yeah, because of that, um, I mean, he was pretty straightforward about it. But then, since it was one of my first interviews, that really gave me a bad trauma, I would say. But then that was one of my bad experiences. But then I realized over time that there are certain things which we should keep within ourselves. And yeah, that's one of the pointers that I kept in mind, and I moved forward for the other interviews. And yeah, I think after that one experience, this is one small change that I made with my approach, and it really helped me for the other interviews, and I started performing a bit well. So yeah, that's one of the experiences, I would say.
Yes, you're right. Everyone faces trauma in their life. So, when you have a trauma, it is not the end of life. Many of them go for suicides or try to end their life. But you are brilliant and you have taken this opportunity as a positive approach, and that helped you in your experience in your future interviews, and then you got a job, right? So I'm so proud of you. So let's move on to our next question. The question is, um, how has social media influenced you? Is it good or bad? What's your opinion?
I'm not really influenced by social media, but then I think social media has helped me to be aware about certain stuffs. Because yeah, right now if you see how the Gen Zs are, I think certain things which I feel is not normal is something people tend to normalize it. So yeah, I think social media did help me to be aware about these things, and that's one of the pointers which helped me from the social media. Um, Again, I'm not much of a social media influence person, but then yeah, I tend to get awareness about certain stuffs. I and also tend to learn a lot of stuff from social media as well. So yeah, I think I've seen the bad sides as well as the good side of the internet, but then at the same time, I focus not to get into the bad stuff, and I tend to take things positively from the media. And yeah, that's me, but then it's not the same with everyone else. But then I'm a sort of person to take everything from internet in a positive way.
It's good to know that you are aware of what's going on with the Gen Zs nowadays on social media. Um, so it's an awareness for everyone that even though there are negative things in social media, always go on with the positive. That may help your life to develop in a holistic way. So let's move on to our last question of the day. Like any message for your younger self?
If I had a message for my younger self, so I don't really have any message, but then I think I would ask my younger self to probably not give up on sports that I liked, and probably to work a bit hard on things that I had to work on. And apart from that, yeah, probably to be a bit more blunt and to open up about certain things that I had in my mind instead of just suppressing it. So yeah, these are the things that I would tell my younger self. Not a lot, but then yeah, if I had to, then this is what I would tell. Otherwise, I would probably be chilling around with my younger self rather than rather than having a serious convo. Yeah, that's it.
I greatly appreciate your efforts in trying to give a message to everyone here who's listening to the podcast on Real Gossip. So, I thank you a lot for taking part in this podcast. So, it's not easy. You're very busy at your work, but you took time for yourself to explain more about your job, your work, your education, and how you build up your life in 2 decades. I wish you best of luck for your future. Have a great day, everyone. Like, share, and subscribe for to follow for the next episode.